what's being said, I can delete the recording.
Oh, I just want to say I always feel uncomfortable, but go on.
But this is for kind of training and evidence purposes.
I just want to say I always.
Yeah, yeah. So personally, I'm really keen on getting technology to improve treatment outcomes and external recovery outcomes. I saw you sneak that in there, Dion. Yeah, there was a quick undercover. All right. So we've got Trish. Okay, is this working? There we go. Guess it's working. All right, everyone. Well, welcome to Thursday, the 7th of August, the Systemic Wellness Practitioner Training. Everyone here, almost, has done the 3-day intensive or some version of that. And this part of the training is how to integrate what we've learned into your professional role at your organization. Yeah, so let's just whip around the room and everyone can just check in and say your name, how you're feeling, and the role at your organization. So I'm David, I'm checking in excited, and my role is organizational development and training. And I will tag Alex.
Hello, I'm Alex. I'm from Recovery Connections, community coach, and I'm feeling excited for the training today. And I will tag Kerry.
Hi, I'm Kerry. I'm for the same organisation, Recovery Connections. I'm a recovery coach, and I'm glad to be back because I was in hospital last week, so I couldn't attend the session. So I'm looking forward to this one. Thank you.
Are you feeling better?
Yeah. I'm just on a buttload of steroids, so it makes you burn up a bit.
Okay. And who are you tagging?
And I'm tagging Trish.
Trish, you're muted. Well, bring your microphone down then.
I'm having a bad day with this technology, David. Wait there.
There you go. You're almost there.
Am I here?
Yay!
I'm Trish, community coach in Stockton, feeling excited and a little bit childish because of how excited I've just got over something I've just bought to use in Smart tomorrow, and everyone else is laughing at me, but I think it's great. Yeah, that's me. I'm good. Thank you. And I'll tag Katie.
Thank you. I am Katie. I'm a volunteer coordinator and director of Raw Kent. I'm really happy to be here today, but I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. Yeah, that's me. And I will tag Anna.
Hi, everyone. I'm Anna. I'm at the start of Hope Netherlands. Not sure how to formulate that, but yeah.
Yes, well done. You said it.
Yeah, and I'm in the Netherlands. I'm actually checking in, really relaxed. I'm taking a few days off. Well, not from this training, but trying to slow down a bit. And it's pretty good. So I'm checking in good. And I'm tagging who's left. Let me see. Paolo.
Yeah.
Thanks, Anna. Hi everybody, I'm Paolo. Checking in from Johannesburg in South Africa. I am roles of portfolio or recovery specialist and recovery coach, group facilitation, and also do some unit facilitation stuff around maintenance and that kind of jazz. Yeah, and I'm checking in, looking forward to the session today. And I'll tag Dion.
Hi, I'm Dion, Digital Community Manager at Epic Restart Foundation, and I am checking in curious. This is my first call, and I did the 3 days a few months ago when I was still pregnant. So a bit of baby brain at the minute, but I'm really looking forward to it.
Lovely to see you. You've done some great work on the digital side of things, hey?
Thank you. We're getting there. We're gonna change. We're gonna change up some things again when Richie's back from his holiday from next week. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Okay. And may I ask what motherhood's been like?
She's absolutely amazing. Yeah, she's just absolutely loving it. Loving it.
Okay. Jesus, your face is exploding. All right. Cool. So, yeah, so welcome to your first class. You've got 10 classes to go. That'll give you 20 hours. And the idea of the class is we create the container and we find out what we want to talk about, what the agenda is related to your role. Okay. Now, that might be something personal in your life that's coming in. So, I've come to work, I've had a baby, I have to leave my baby at home. I feel so anxious. I just want to talk to my baby and I can't do my job. And this is impacting the clients that we want to serve. Something like that would be completely okay to navigate. Yep. Or to talk about the role in your organization or to talk about anything really. Yeah. So it's really a space where we take the skills of coaching, which essentially sit in the place of wellness. So it's not pathology, you're not sick people, you're well people working in lived experienced organizations. And you show up as professionals in your lived experience organizations because you are paid for your roles. So you're paid something to show up in a certain way. Is that correct? Do we have any volunteers here? You might feel like you're being paid as a volunteer, but yeah. Or like Anna, who's a CEO, just kind of starting up, building this organization. There's like, oh, where do I go? Yeah. Sorry to throw that in, Anna, but I just, yeah, because it's leadership is a hard thing. Yeah, leadership is a hard thing. And yeah, so where should we go today? Alex, this is your third class, yes? There we go.
Sorry. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I love it.
Okay, good. And your first class was you were walking in the community doing your job, and then somebody came up that was and spoke about suicide, yeah?
Yeah.
And then Kerry, you've been in hospital last week.
I was, yeah. But this is my third class as well, because I don't know if you can remember, but I done my first one when I was actually based in the Middlesbrough one.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and you've done the
And this is
3-day
yeah.
intensive.
Yes, yeah.
Where Alex, you haven't. Yes?
No.
Yep. So, okay, great. And then, Kerry, if it's all right, when may I talk about our class
Yeah,
3 weeks ago?
yeah.
Yeah. So, when the topic of suicide came up, yep, Kerry spoke about her lived experience of losing a partner to that.
Yeah.
Yep. And so it can get pretty fucking messy at times. Yeah. So this is really a space to just kind of like, what can we learn from this? What are the roles? Where am I? And it might feel like supervision. It's not though. Yeah. This is a
Yeah.
training, organizational development. Okay, cool. So where should we go today?
Go on, Trish, you'll have an idea.
Okay, so Trish and Kerry obviously work in the same office next to each other.
Oh, you've caught me
Okay.
off guard. I think we should start on highlights and starting new things. And last week I done my first. We launched smart recovery in North East Hospital. So it was really good for the first one. It was really good, and it can only get better. And we really should throw my easel in there because I'm really happy with it. Everyone else is taking the mick out of me, but it's amazing. So
You done brilliant.
yeah, it's just it needs to be bigger, but obviously that comes in time and like more advertised, which I'm doing. Like I'm already on that, so yeah, it's just onwards and upwards.
All right. So, as a community coach,
Yeah,
you went into a hospital, and in that hospital, you're facilitating a smart recovery meeting.
yeah,
Great. And you've learned from that you need to kind of advertise it more
Yeah.
to bring more people to it.
yeah.
Wonderful. So, what would you like to get from the container? Let's all give you a round of applause first. Let's send you
Thank
some
you.
love. Where's there some love? There you go. Is that sending love?
That's sending love, David.
Why is it? Why can't I send
I
lots
don't know
of?
how to do that.
You've done it.
There we go. There's lots of love to you. Okay, well done. All right. Okay. So, where to from here?
What, in the container, you mean?
Yeah. I'm just.
I think I think we should always discuss confidentiality. I think this should be a safe container, and I think if anyone's got anything on the mind, they should be able to voice it safely and be able to trust the people they're sharing it with. I'll
Okay.
start it with that.
Okay. Cool. All right. So that adds safety to this container, and like I said, it's being recorded for training purposes. I sound like one of those fucking call center people. You know, this call is being recorded for quality purposes. Yeah. And if at any time we need to delete it or something, you'll
Yeah.
let me know, yes. But are we okay to? And it's an unlisted link, so I don't think anyone's on it watching us live. Yep. Maybe one day, you know. Maybe if Dion's like digital community gets like, hey, let's go live like a Jerry Springer show. What was that guy in the UK? What was his name?
Oh, Jeremy Kyle.
Yes. Do you still have that on telly?
No, he got banned.
He got banned.
Yeah, he sure got banned.
Because
Suicide. Somebody had been on his show and there wasn't much aftercare for this guy. And anyway, this guy ended up taking his own life.
Okay. All right. Well, there's an important lesson. Yeah. So how do we profit out of other people's stories?
I don't get it. I don't want to profit out. I just want to help people with the stories. I want to make people's stories better. It's not for profit. It's not for profit.
But it's a thing, huh?
Yeah,
And it
that's
may
the
not
thing, I
be
suppose.
profit for money, but it might be a profit for like, okay, well, let's share how well this person's doing because we want our Lero to look good and oh fuck, they've just gone and died. Okay, well, let's fucking cover it up and not talk about it. And then it's hard, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what I find hard about it is on the one hand, you want to break the stigma. And on the other hand, you can't do it at the expense of somebody else's story. And yet, people get a lot of recovery by sharing their story. I mean, if you look at the fellowships, it's like that's about sharing your experience, strength, and hope. Yeah. And then sponsorship and share, but that's not what this is. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I'm enjoying this container. Dion, I'd love to hear about your role as a digital community manager. And if we could have a conversation around that. And if you could just tell us a little bit about Epic and the sector that you work in?
Yeah, so Epic Restart Foundation we are all about helping people who are already in recovery from gambling harms. So a lot of the people who come to us have already been at places like rehab centers such as like Gordon Moody, and we are there to help them live a better life after the gambling harms. So we've got things like one-to-one coaching, we do in-person events, but what I'm the manager of is the community, the online community, which is still very much in its infancy. But we are growing it slowly but surely. We're growing it, we're tweaking it, we're hopefully making it better and better. And it is there to give people 24/7 access. So we've got loads of different tools and resources on there. We get speakers coming in currently every week. They can be lived experience stories that they're sharing, or there might be an expert in a particular field. Could be more holistic stuff like EFT tapping, hypnosis, that type of thing, because we really understand that everyone's recovery journey is unique to them. So, for example, I'm in recovery, not from gambling harms, but drugs and alcohol. And for me,
Yay,
I
it's one
loved
of
the
us.
way.
Yay!
For me, the fellowship was amazing for like my first year of sobriety, but then after that it wasn't for me. And most of my family are in recovery, so most of them are like proper 12 steppers. They live for NA, and they still can't believe that I don't like going to the meetings anymore. They just really, really disagree with it, so they're very kind of like in that little box. Whereas what I love about Epic is that we understand that everyone's recovery journey is different. Some people love GA, Gamblers Anonymous, some people don't like that, and we want to make sure that we can help everyone to just live a better life. So yeah, in the community, it's just all about giving them really easy access to those tools and resources. And yeah, I've only been back about a month, so I've just been kind of getting into it slowly, and we're having a bit of a restructure soon, so it's a little bit quiet at the minute, which is great for me because I'm still in the throes of like looking after a baby by myself, and it's all a bit bonkers. But it's just we just want to get as much reach as possible. So yeah, that's about it really.
Well done, you're doing amazing.
Thank you.
So, what's the first thing you notice about Dion's energy?
Really positive and motivated.
Positive, yeah?
And motivated and happy, yeah.
And excited
Yeah.
about what she's
It's
doing.
pretty catchy.
Catchy, huh? It's infectious, huh?
Yeah. Enthusiastic and passionate. That
That's-
really, I want it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know, I want what she's got.
yeah. Her Kokorozashi's alive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fires me up as well.
yeah. All right. Okay, so here's a counterbalance. Hi, I'm David. I work for Epic Restart. I'm a community engagement coach. I share my
Hi.
I share my lived experience to carry the message to other people. I really love my job, and yeah, I'll see you online soon. How
Yeah,
was
that just sounds like you're talking shit.
Yeah. Okay. So what is it about us talking shit that the people in recovery can smell straight away?
I think it's because they're more aware of it, aren't they? Because they're surrounded by it all the time. And I suppose if your energy doesn't match the words that come out your mouth, it is clearly seen.
Okay.
And I don't buy what you're saying because your words don't match what you're telling. Like it's just empty words. You don't mean shit.
It's the authenticity, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know, you
it's
need
like
to bring that authenticity.
You don't care about what you're telling us. You know, you're just telling us because you have to.
Okay.
A bit like reading off a page or something, as though you had a book in front of you and just reading a script of your job description.
Yeah. Welcome to the Epic Restart call center. We are here for you 24/7. Phone up anytime we get there. Great. Yeah, your energy is infectious. Yeah. All right. Okay. What's the difference? So let me draw a picture quickly, because I just want to place where Epic is sitting. Yeah. So here's a new whiteboard. Hopefully, can you all see the new whiteboard? Yep. So I'll talk about a culture of learning, where people learn about a culture of addiction, and people descend. They use, they misuse, they abuse, they become dependent, and essentially people go mad. Yep. And then they enter a culture of recovery. And Epic, yep, are here. Does that make sense? Do you agree? Yes, Dion? Yeah. So you said you work with organizations like Gordon Moody, yep, where people have kind of learned about gambling one day. They entered into it. They said they weren't going to be a problem. They then got into trouble. However, they've gotten into treatment, and now they've come into Epic and to a culture of recovery. And Epic understands multiple pathways to recovery. The fellowship, GA, is a part of that if people want to go to that. And they cater for people that don't resonate with that.
Yeah.
And Dion's personal family experience, she grew up in an environment with staunch 12 steppers. Yep. And now she went there for a year, and now she's left the fold, and it's kind of heresy. Yeah. What Dion's doing is heresy. She's not following the book. On page 173, it says, chapter 4, paragraph 3, Dion is evil for not going to meetings.
Basically it.
Yeah? Okay, cool. So there's some personal stuff, some family stuff that is playing out in your work stuff, where you're talking multiple pathways. And so I just want us to, first of all, just be aware of the tension that might be causing. So what does support look like for you, Dion?
Do you mean me personally?
Whatever, just like, because it feels like I've got an understanding where you sit, where your job is, yep, what your role is, yep. And now I'm like, what is support? What does support look like? And it might be personally being I think you said you're with the baby by yourself.
Yeah, just mean her.
Are you a single mum?
Yeah.
All right, so all right, so it's, you see, it's like I'm a single mum. My family have they're all in recovery.
Yeah.
Yep. I work in a recovery organization. I love my job. I'm back at work for a month. There's restructuring going on. Fuck. So maybe I'm the one that needs support.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
So
there's a lot there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There's definitely a lot. Funny enough, one of the managers from Epic is, so as part of our role, we're all entitled to like a monthly counsellor. So I think when Richie's back, we're going to get that put in place, because I could definitely have a bit more support at the minute. And
Okay.
I'm also starting some one-to-one support, like completely outside of the organisation as well, which I've arranged, and that should be starting in the next 2 weeks. Because as much as my family are all like 12 steppers, like they are absolutely amazing. They're so supportive. I honestly don't know what I would do without them. But I have definitely recognized, especially over the last couple of weeks, that I really want some one-to-one support from someone that I don't have a personal relationship with. So someone who's not biased. So that is, currently that's going to be happening in the next week or two, hopefully.
Okay. So some personal support that isn't coming from the family.
Yeah.
isn't coming from the workplace
Mhm.
and is sort of external
Yeah.
to help you get what?
I think just process a lot of like the recent events. And I think, yeah, just because sometimes everyone just needs a bit of a vent, don't they? But I know that, say, for example, if I do it to my mum, she's so wise, like she's really, really, really wise. But a lot of the time she'll advises, and sometimes I don't want advice. I just want to talk to someone, and for them to go like, all right, and how does that make you feel? Fucking pissed off. That's all I want sometimes. So this is what I'll be getting with this one-to-one person.
Okay, so that's frapping. Yes, remember frapping from the training: fixing, rescuing, advising,
Yes.
projecting. Yep. So my mum might be very clever with her advice, but fuck, she can keep it to herself because I did what fucking then.
Yeah.
Okay, now I can hear the police sirens going off in the background there. It's like, okay. All right. Is anyone else here a single mum? Oh, Anna, you got your hand up. Go for it.
Yeah, another single mom, but I just wanted to say that I can really relate to what you were saying about Dion, about sometimes you like it's very great to have friends and family around you who support you. But for me, the the extras of having someone who's not close to you, who's like a professional, is also really that they're not, because they're not like personally involved. I feel like, I feel less like guilt and or a burden when I talk to them because they won't get like they're not personally affected. So, they won't live if I always like when I share something with my family, they will worry or they will, and if it's someone personal, I know that they won't lay awake at night, they're just here
Yeah.
and shit. They don't get scared. They'll just, they're fine. And whereas if you tell family or friends, they will take on that, and
Yeah.
I won't necessarily feel relieved because then I feel like I'm burdening them. Whereas if it's someone professional, I'll just be like, oh, I'm paying you, you'll just go home and not think about it again. So
Yeah.
that's fine. And that's where I've always just felt so much better when it was someone I like paid for or was paid for it. And then I was like, yeah, you're not gonna lay awake. So that's cool. And you're not gonna, be upset about it or be blown away, and I don't have to console you. You'll just be fine. And well, that's the idea, They're not gonna cry, and
Absolutely.
you don't have to have help, like end up, yeah, consoling them. So that's for me a really big plus of having someone in your support system who's not
Yeah.
personal. Yeah.
Okay. So let's take the spotlight off you for a bit, Dion. Give you a bit of breathing space. Yeah. Thank you for bringing that. Let's go to Katie in her role as director.
Hello.
Hello. All right,
Hello.
everyone. The boss is in the room.
Do you know, it's still the most ridiculous thing, David. You know my feelings about it. I find it the most ridiculous thing that 4 years ago I couldn't get out of my own bed, and now I'm responsible for people, and it is overwhelming. I started the check-in today. You're saying I feel a little bit overwhelmed because we are separating from our parent company next month. So then there's very much a responsibility. I know where my skills lie. My skills are with people. I'm really good with people. I know that. I own that, and I can help people. I'm really good at that. Admin governance, not so much. It gets on my nerves. I know it's essential. But now the responsibility for all of that is here. I mean, it's not just me, but I feel it. I am feeling it at the moment. To make sure all the T's.
So give us the history. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So
I mean, if you're allowed to.
Yeah. No, it's fine.
It's all transparent stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. The parent organisation, if you like, the Forward Trust, was commissioned to set up a Lero, lived experience recovery organisation, back in 2023. And that was tentatively started just with a member of staff from Forward and a few volunteers. It started progressing a little bit more. It launched as an entity in 2024. 2024 was when I came on board, because there was just people running about actually not having a clue what to do, volunteers just really enthusiastic and wanting to do stuff, but there was no organisation. So I was taken on to be the coordinator. I will say again, as I say every single time, if I knew what I was coming into, I wouldn't have applied. Not because I don't enjoy my job, I love my job, but I wouldn't have thought I would have been capable. Do you know what I mean? I would have thought, oh my God, there's no way I can do that.
Okay, so I just want to pause there 1 second. Yeah. So Katie, your naivety of the role, got you to sign up for the role.
Yeah.
And once you'd taken on the role, the realization of like, fuck, was very overwhelming.
Incredibly overwhelming.
Okay, cool. Okay, so first of all, that makes me feel a bit sad and I just felt like that. What did you do with that overwhelm? What a lovely son.
I think I've gradually worked on it, because it started off, the job started off 2 days a week, and I thought I was just going to be putting people in different places, guiding them where they're going to go for their drop-ins, and then gradually 3 days, 4 days, and actually know what I'm doing is I'm recruiting volunteers, I'm training volunteers, I'm supervising volunteers, I'm also doing the management side, I'm speaking to other partnerships, and a million and one other things. It's just all in there. And I think at first I was just doing it, and then I did take a moment and think, fucking hell, this is an awful lot. It's a lot of responsibility. I'm winging it. I was concerned that, and I still do. And actually, probably that was the best way, because I have learned on the job. We have had things happen that we've had to adjust to, and I've learned from those experiences. And I actually think if I'd have gone in forewarned, highly trained, it would be very different. I think it's emerged organically, which is great. It is great. However, there absolutely is times when it is overwhelming. So it's taken me time to process it, and it's taken me time to be more honest about that, because I suffer very much from imposter syndrome. So at no point did I want to say, oh my God, this is really hard. I don't know what to do.
Let me just pause here again. So, and if I put words in your mouth that aren't there, just tell me to.
I will.
So I felt so insecure that it was hard for me to be honest about what was going on, because I didn't really know how to ask for help.
Yeah.
Is that fair? Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. Thank you.
And my sense of pride, I need to do this on my own. I need to find a way to sort this out. And over time I've understood that absolutely that's not the case. There's so many things I don't know, and I couldn't possibly know, and I need help from other people. So within that, I have supervision, obviously, in my job, but I also have outside supervision, like you've all said, something away from that. I have support from fellowship. I have a sponsor. I'm not quite as much as a 12-stepper as I used to be, because I've been gleaning stuff from the work I'm doing, which is supporting me in my own recovery. And also this, the recovery coaching. I find these sessions, I'm sure David gets pissed off because I'm here every week, usually, for like a million years. But I find it beneficial to keep training, to keep being in the moment, to keep remembering where I'm at, to be honest with myself, how I can help other people, but also how I can help me support myself, and when I need to help me recognize when I need that. Yeah, I think that's where we are today.
Okay, so I just want to just also, so you were part of the Forward Trust.
Yeah.
You were commissioned.
Oh yes, I missed a big bit out. Sorry. Yes. Yeah, we were commissioned to build this Lero. It launched in 2024. This year, in January, we became a community interest company in our own right, which is why I'm now part of, there's 2 executive directors. And next month, we are cutting all ties with the parent company. So we are, the stabilizers are coming off.
Okay, great. So not only have you personally been on a journey, but the organization has been you were all ex-service users?
All in recovery, all have lived experience, some service users, some not.
Okay, great. So a mixed bag formed a Lero as part that was kind of funded by the Forward Trust for things like paperwork, some training, things like that. And now you've moved on to a kick. Yep, you've got a board of directors and some governance stuff, which is more paperwork and over. Yeah, and now you're going off to fend for yourselves.
Yeah.
Okay. Well done.
I know. It's when I sit and look at that, when we look at that, it is like, oh my gosh.
A massive well done, it's amazing.
Did you hear that nervous laugh? She was like, I've done it. Well done.
Yeah, Auntie is amazing. You know, I have to acknowledge that we have so many new things up and running. I'm personally coaching people as well, which I love. That's where my stuff lies. But I have to, again, not get caught up in that, because if I had my way, I'd just be coaching people, talking to people, and nothing else would get done. And I need to remember where my responsibilities lie.
So there's balance there between the roles.
Yeah.
Good for you, Katie.
Thank you. I will take it. I don't normally, but I will take it. I need it today.
Well done. And if I may a little bit, Katie.
Yep.
Yeah. What I'm proud about us as an organization, we were able to adjust so that you didn't have to come and do the 3-day training in person. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you were able to be part of this to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Hugely beneficial. And, you know, that is, again, part of what we're modeling, you know, meeting people where they're at, making reasonable adjustments. Don't put barriers in place if they can be overcome. You know, that we're all human beings and we all need something different if it's possible.
Oh. All right. Alex, how are you feeling, love?
Hiya, David. I'm feeling all right, thank you. Are you?
Yeah, I'm good. What are you getting at?
Well done, Katie. You're doing so well.
Thank you. I just want to emphasize this is not a lone wolf. You know, I have great volunteers, great other people around as well. So, you know, I need to acknowledge that. But thank you. I will take it. Like I said, today I need it.
Okay, so let's go with that quickly. So where are you a lone wolf?
Are you talking to me?
I've gone back to Katie, but
Okay.
I'm just putting it back out to everyone.
Yeah, I can be, and I know I still can be when I'm in my own struggles. As you know, I have mental health issues, which I often flip to the side. You know, that doesn't exist. I'm doing what I'm doing, and that's all great, you know. And I can be, sometimes I find myself, if I'm struggling, being a lone wolf, because I recognize there's a lot of elements to that. There's the, oh my God, what if people think I can't do my job properly? Oh my God, I'm meant to be the person who is helping other people, not asking for help. So there's that pride, there's that judgment, there's all of that. So too often, and I recognize it, I try to manage that stuff on my own instead of putting it out there. I'm definitely better than I used to be, and I attribute these sessions to that, that I do feel I can be more open about those things, but I still can be a bit of a lone wolf because it's years of that habit.
Well, I'll tell you where you'll be a lone wolf is when you have to file things like a CK313 form to company's house because you're a kick. Yeah. I got hit with that yesterday and we didn't know about it, and it's going to cost us 350 quid. So that's a bit of a lone wolf thing. It's like, oh fuck, I never knew that was happening. Oh my God, it's happened. Shit, how are we going to handle it? How are we going to make sure it doesn't happen again? And that's why you get fined. So it's like, fuck, I didn't know we weren't allowed to park there. So it's, yeah, those sorts of things are difficult. Alex.
Hello.
So I've got a little bit of anxiety, and my anxiety is wanting to make sure you're feeling included and a part of, because this is your third class with us.
Yeah.
And you're new to Recovery Connections, yes?
Yeah.
Yep. And yeah, so it's all about me and my anxiety. How
Oh, don't be anxious. You always include me.
Okay. And how's that? How is that? How do we know that?
Because you ask me questions, you keep me engaged, and the way you present your training's really good. I'm really intrigued by what you're saying.
Okay.
I think you're very clever the way you do your training, the way you throw questions at us and you say things to sort of get us thinking. It keeps me interested.
So how do we keep people engaged? So
And
Trisha's just started a smart recovery. It's gone well. There's some people that, how are you going to keep people engaged in this?
enthusiasm. Look like you want to be there, and well, if you don't want to be there, you're in the wrong job. I always think about, does anyone know what a selfless good deed is? Because I think if you don't get anything out of it inside, I don't think it's for you.
Yeah. So always ask yourself, what would Dion do? How would Dion do that? So last week you spoke about in your social life, you really still like going to pubs and places like that. That's a big part of your persona, your personality, the stuff that you love doing. Yeah.
I like to socialise, so if my friends are going, I'll go. But I couldn't at first, but I can now, and it doesn't bother me.
I'm just hoping my question hasn't been a bit too personal.
No, not at all.
Good. Okay. Because there's often projections out there around what people should be doing in their recovery and what they shouldn't be doing in their recovery.
I think whatever works for you, you do.
Yeah. Good. I mean that's really what the philosophy is. Yeah. So if you tie that into inclusivity, yeah, how do we tackle that? I mean, and the reason I'm asking these questions is you're a community coach. You're
Yeah.
out into communities, and you're making people aware of the external recovery capital available to people.
Yeah.
That's what like this is our life. If you want to some of it, this is how you get there.
Yeah.
Let us know when you want to get there. If you want to get there. Yeah. And then it's kind of looking at the internal recovery. Is the person willing to do that? Do they want to? Or do they just see you as kind of a, you know?
I think it's all about getting to know the person, isn't it, first, and sort of trying to explore what their goals are and trying to help them reach their goals. But I think even the littlest thing, like when we do tea and toast on a morning, you get to know the community. And so you remember even just the little things like how they have the coffee and that. And I think they like that because they're like, oh, she remembers me and how I like my coffee, you know, just little things like that. And I love remembering.
That's
So-
like if ask me what any of my community members want on the toast, and I'll be able to tell you.
Yeah.
I
Me
couldn't
and
tell you how
Trish
many
have a
sugars though.
system.
We
We have
do.
a
We have a
system.
system.
I do the coffees, Trish does the toast, and we're
And
like,
we both
do
do
it
the
like
talking.
that.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Tea and toast, huh?
Yeah.
So what happens at tea and toast? Just describe to me what it looks like. And then
So we have a big table in the middle. We all sit and have like little group chats. If anyone wants a one-to-one, they can have a one-to-one. But we put the music on. We have the YouTube music channel on a morning, usually 80s music. Tea and toast. They all suggested cereal, so me and Poppy went shopping yesterday and got loads of cereal. Because I think, you know, and then it brings them back more
Yeah.
when you're listening to them, what they actually want, and asking them what they want as well.
It's about
What
having
do
that
you want to
adult
see?
conversation.
Yeah, what do you want to see in these groups? What would you like to do? Because it's not about us,
Yeah.
it's about you.
Like what you want to do. If we can make it happen, we will.
Yeah.
Anna?
Yeah, what comes up for me is you just ask like, what does it look like? Because you know how someone may still want to go to a bar and how it's like a personal journey. And I think it's very important to know that people are committed and motivated, but it's not one size fits all, you know, and especially when you have tea with someone and you have that coffee thing, which sounds amazing. It's about, you know, getting to know someone and getting to know if there are, what are their motivation and commitment, but it doesn't look the same for everyone. You know, you can't, it's not one size fits all. And if it's community based and if it's a personal journey. So yeah, get to know the people, and for every person motivation looks different. And you know, for someone their journey or their recovery can look like still wanting to go to a bar, and as long as they're motivated and committed, that can work for someone, and for the other person it may not. But it's not one size fits all, and it's not a protocol or program that looks the same for everyone. So yeah, definitely have tea and coffee with people and get to know them.
Katie?
Yeah, 100%. I love how you guys were talking there, because to me that is the most important thing. And I think what is missed often in treatment services is looking at the results. You know, oh, so and so's been sober for 2 months, so amazing. You know, no, actually, this person's been engaging, has felt welcomed, has felt in our community. They may not be at a point of being in complete abstinence at the moment, but they are in the pre-contemplation stage. You know, they're ready, they're getting ready, and that might not come to fruition for another 6 months. So it gets missed in traditional treatment services. That progress gets missed, those personal touches get missed. And I think that is the most important thing, to actually to be seen and heard when you've spent your life not being seen and heard is the biggest thing you can give to someone. And that's where the healing begins, I think.
Oh, that makes me want to cry when you said when you spend your life being seen and not heard. That's like, oh, that's so me. Fuck. And I'm almost 60. Fuck.
But it's true, isn't it? And I think that is
Oh,
the
no,
greatest gift you
yeah.
can give to someone. That is where the healing begins, whatever that looks like.
Yes, Alex, you were going to say something?
I was just going to say, we hear you, David. We hear you.
Thank you. I'd love to come for toast. Have you got wheat free? Okay. And I mean, you guys have come up with wonderful initiatives. The coffee bike, yeah, is another one where you just go around, hand out cups of coffee. The only requirement is you have a cup of coffee and talk about recovery. That's like now you got tea and toast and yeah, what else?
Outreach. Me and Trish did outreach yesterday, and we seen a snake. So I was like, we're now doing reptilian outreach.
You saw a snake.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
I had
Trish
hold of
had
it.
it round her neck.
What?
Well, it's just getting on with the community, David. You know, you want to feel close to the community, and he had a snake stretching in his garden, so I stroked it.
I thought it was walking along the street. When I looked at the picture, I thought it was an actual snake going along the street. Well, not walking down the street, 'cause obviously it doesn't walk. You know, like slithering his way on down there on the photo. I thought, where the fuck she seen that?
Crazy, crazy. We were just on outreach, and we bumped into a member of the community, and we just got talking, and then yeah, good. His name was Bet.
It's what, the snake?
Yeah, his name was Bet.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I wanted to make sure it was a snake and we didn't mention a member of the public's name.
Yeah, I was actually wondering who needs recovery. Is it the snake or the person whose neck it was around?
That's not a question we ask really. We just talk.
Yeah.
If
Fair,
they know we are, everyone where we are know we are, and we just have a conversation with people, because some people are just isolated. Some people, that might be the only conversation they have in that day, and if we can give them that, we will.
What a lovely, warm feeling. So, Dion, how do you feel about the world your baby's been born into? When you
Terrified.
terrified?
Absolutely terrified, yeah. So it's it's weird as well. Like, part of the reason why I split up from my dad is I'd been tolerating. I was speaking to my mentor about this, who I'm going to start working with again. And it's like I would tolerate and compromise on certain things, but then as soon as she was born, I was like, well, I can't do that anymore, because it's going to teach her that that's acceptable. So now I'm kind of like, I'm totally like hyper vigilant about like the language I use, the energy that's coming across, the people that I'm surrounding with. But I know that I can only control like so much. And I can't, like, because at the minute I see my baby as this blank canvas who's got no insecurities, no nothing. And I know that the world's going to get to her at some point, but for now I'm just kind of wanting to just keep her in my little bubble. But yeah, it terrifies us. It really, really does.
So I can really see that fear in you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel quite tearful from that. And what the tears are about is about compassion.
Mm-hmm.
Compassion for a mother wanting to protect, to like, fuck, I've got this little in the world, yeah. And just what a burden that must be. Yeah.
I really would like to acknowledge as well you taking that decision, which must have been incredibly difficult, so that your daughter didn't grow up with the wrong, I guess, values, the wrong ideas. You know, that must have been incredibly tough for you.
Yeah, I think it's really conflicting as well, because and this is something I want to start talking about with who I'm getting the one-to-one support with, but there's such a conflicting feeling of like a lot of regret and a lot of shame that I kind of got with in a relationship with that person anyways, because he was so fucking disrespectful from the beginning in so many ways. There was a million red flags. but I chose to ignore them. So there's a lot of guilt and shame around that. But then it's like, but if I hadn't have been with them, then I wouldn't have my daughter. So then I feel guilty about feeling shame. And then it's just like this fucking circle at the minute. So my head's just constantly going right now. But she is, and I was never maternal, and she is just the best thing that ever happened to me. And there's been so much of my life when there hasn't been a lot of clarity. And as soon as she's came along, there's just clarity in so many areas now. Because it's like I said, I might be able to tolerate a bit more shit, but she doesn't deserve that. So yeah, it's a total head fuck. It really is.
But it's incredible. You've done it, you do it, and
Yeah.
you're talking about it. I think that's great.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're gonna love it. Being a mother's just the best job in the world.
Yeah, do you know
Especially a
what? I am
single one.
so far. Mhm.
Yeah, they're all yours then. They're all mine anyway. That's
Yeah.
right.
I love it.
But well done and
Thank
congratulations.
you. Thanks.
Should we take a 5-minute break? I must admit, I don't want to take a break. I'm just so enjoying this conversation, but yeah, maybe that's why I need a break. See you at 5 past.
See you soon.
See you in a
Thank
bit.
you.
Alex is back.
Hello.
Tea and toast.
Tea and toast. I love it.
It's great.
We've got this new, I went to Aldi, you know Aldi, the shop at supermarket.
Yeah.
And they do this pistachio cream. It's a big hit on toast on a morning. But obviously we ask about nut allergies first and we use different knives.
You see the things you have to think of is
I
complex.
know.
Next minute you're being sued because you were kind to someone, thinking it's yeah.
We're gonna have to sign disclaimers.
Yeah. Paolo, how are you doing there? You want to check in, mate?
Sure, thanks, David. Yeah, thanks everybody. There's been a lot of great stuff that's come up in the container so far. So thank you all for that. Yeah, and just some really great reminders. So I'm checking in, actually quite excited about the container so far, and looking forward to the next bit.
There's a nice
And
in the container, huh? There's a nice
it
lady.
is, yeah. It's electric. Feels electric. Yeah.
It's bloody Dion's fault coming in with all this. Yeah.
Come bring that electricity. Yeah. Amen. And I'll jump across to Katie.
Thank you, Paolo. Love. Yeah, I'm checking in.
No, Katie, the roar was feeble. Let's be honest. That was like a.
I'm checking in, grateful for this space. I just love when people get together and they're so passionate about hope, about healing, about humanity, just being decent human beings. And I love that. I love the energy in here today. So I'm really, really grateful for that. Thank you. And I will tag Kerry.
Thank you, lovely. Yeah, I'm checking in, very grateful. I was just saying to Trish how much I really, really enjoy being a part of this training. I take a lot away from it, from each one. So I'm very thankful and grateful. Yeah, thank you.
Who are you tagging, Kerry?
I'll tag Dion. Is it Dion?
Yep.
Thank you, Dion, checking in. Good. I'm just really happy to be here. I did not know what to expect at all. But yeah, absolutely loving it. I really, really like the vibe in here. I am tagging Anna.
Thanks, Dion. So nice to have you here. And I'm tagging in. Good. I like the vibe as well. And yeah, feeling passionate and excited. So I'm excited for the next round. And I'm tagging, let me see. Who's left? Who's left? Has everyone been?
No, there's Alex. There's
Oh,
Katie,
Alex,
there's
you're up. Sorry, I'm really in a holiday spirit. I'm not really here, but I'm tagging
Enjoy
Alex.
the spirit. Go for it. It's fine. It's wonderful.
Thank you, Anna. Yeah, I'm checking in. I absolutely love this because we're all of us are on different paths, but we're all sort of for the same goal, aren't we? And it's helping people. So I love that. I'm tagging Trish.
I knew that was coming. I already had my finger on the unmute. I'm checking in as well. Really grateful. I just love this, me. I just love recovery. I love what it's all about. And I just can't wait for more and more and more people to be joining our cruise. I just can't. I love it. I'm grateful, yeah. And I'll tag who's left, David.
I think Katie, did you go? Yeah, but then I think it's just me then.
I'll tag David.
Good choice. Good choice. Okay, so yeah, where should we go? All right, where should we not go? Kerry, you coming in? There we go.
Oh
Come
no,
in.
no, I was going to say, oh, it's all so quiet. I have no idea where to go.
Don't come in.
I have something. As it's quiet. And I guess it's just a question, a general wondering. So we, as well, we do a weekly online meeting. It's more social, people are quite isolated, and it's for people who are in recovery or curious about recovery. So it's not
Okay.
abstinence based.
Okay, so
Now-
let me just quickly bring up the whiteboard. Keep going.
So usually people who come are abstinent or in the early stages of abstinence, or maybe have stopped using one drug but are perhaps still drinking. So there's a whole mix there.
So it's in this area.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
And it is about
And who facilitates it, Katie?
It's me.
Great, cool. Okay, so here you are, and your role here is a facilitator.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
we'll forget the director role.
Yeah,
and we'll
completely forget that.
12, and we'll forget the 12-step role.
Yep.
Your
Yep.
role is to facilitate a container.
Yep.
With other people in it.
Yep.
And it happens once a week.
Yep.
And how long does it go on for?
An hour and a half. Sometimes I'm cajoled into it going on for 2 hours. All depends
Okay, great.
where we're at.
So the time of it is flexible. It'll be an hour and a half, but it might go on for longer based on the needs of the container.
Yeah.
Great. And the container is an environment to do what?
It's very much person-led.
Great.
So the idea is we call it a recovery forum. So the idea is, people can come and they can bring something. So it's very much like this. They can bring something to the container. But also there is an emphasis on it being social connection. We have a quiz once a month as well. So there's that element to it.
Okay, so hang on, Kate. So as a facilitator, you're kind of guiding this to move towards a culture of recovery, regardless of whether people are using or sober. That's so people come together in the morning, we have tea and toast, we talk to them, but the motive is to make people aware of this. So you're doing something similar. You're just meeting once a week online for an hour and a half, possibly. Wonderful, good. So now I've got a good picture of where this container is. Wonderful. Keep going.
Okay. So and it is quite successful. People really enjoy the space. I like to think we've built an environment that is really inclusive. It's very friendly. And it is that safe space. We really have worked hard to make it a safe space so people can bring things if they want to, or we can have a chit chat and a laugh and remember that life is not shit and boring and ruled by addiction. So this week, we had a person join with his partner who's in long-term recovery. He is in recovery from cocaine, but he has an issue now with alcohol and cannabis. And absolutely, he was very open when, we did a check-in. He was very open about where he was. And I was like, absolutely, you are welcome here. This is not abstinence-based, blah, 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 did all that. And then he picked up his can of beer and started drinking on the screen. So I then had to, and I felt I had to. And I did it in a way I think that usually I'm pretty good at. It's like, look, you are absolutely welcome here. We would love to have you here. I don't want to be a hard ass, but can you not drink on screen? Simply because we have other people here who are in recovery from alcohol, and they may find it difficult. You know, they may find that triggering, for what I hate the word triggering, but you know, and actually it was fine. He was amazing. He said, absolutely, of course, I completely understand. He did get gradually a bit more and more drunk as the time went on, but it wasn't detrimental to the rest of the group. You know, it was manageable and it was okay. But I guess my question is, how do you guys deal with something like that? I mean, do you have those situations? I don't know if all of your stuff is abstinence based and there are rules around that. I mean, we're not. So there's not rules, and it has to be very much a judgment call for the facilitator at the time.
For us, we share a building with CGL. They're like our partner. So it's not very likely that people would pull anything out in this building anyway, because our kitchen is in their building. Okay. So, but as for if we've seen somebody on the street, maybe well, we do on the daily, to be honest, have a can in their hand, that wouldn't stop us approaching them. We wouldn't even acknowledge that they had a can in their hand. We'd just have that conversation still. But as for in the building, they already know it's not acceptable in the building. But as for when we're out, then we just tend not to acknowledge it.
We do it in a kind way if they sort of they have took something, they're sort of getting a little bit more intoxicated while they're in the building. If they're not posing a threat or anything like that, seems to be okay to engage them well and stuff. But obviously, if there's a bit over, then we kindly ask them, obviously, to leave the group, because that's what we get asked to do by CGL. But it's done in a loving, caring way, so that they know that they're not being judged or anything.
There has been also incidents where people have actually took whatever they take before they've come in and overdosed while they've been in. And I think we'd work really well together to deal with stuff like that. We all know what we're doing. We do it in a safe way, and just make sure that person's okay best we can.
Anna? And then we'll go Dion.
First, Katie, I just want to say that I really admire how you handled that. And I think how each and every one of us handles it also, like, it depends on how you want to do it and your boundaries. And sometimes, you have to work on the way that the organization you work for has its rules. But for me personally, I try to listen to my own boundaries as well, what I feel comfortable with. And sometimes, it depends on the organization I work for at that moment. But for me personally, there's not much point. Like I always acknowledge it. Like I'm too blunt to not say it. I can't pretend I don't notice it when someone is under the influence. I can't help myself. Like I do kind of, I try to find a way to do it, gently, and to not call them out when there's other people around, but I can't, pretend I'm not aware. But there's no point in trying to have a good conversation with someone when they're really under the influence. So, you can try listen to them and support them and make them aware of, the issue or the problem, or that they're harming themselves or in danger. But actually this last weekend, I was in a personal situation with someone, and I did try to make them aware and try to stick to my own boundaries, but I waited till the next day to actually have a conversation about it. And a few days later, we had another conversation. And there's no point when someone is in active behavior or in active use to really have a conversation. And that's my point of view.
Dion?
Yeah, we've had a few situations kind of similar to this, but more at our in-person events. So obviously with Epic, it's all about recovery from gambling. And a lot of our people also have addictions with drugs and alcohol. Some of them, it's literally just gambling, and they can drink like them weird normal people. Well, we've had it a couple of times where, say, at the events, there might be like a bar on site or something, and once it's kind of like over and everyone's going back to the hotel and stuff, we've had people like get pissed at the bar, or even people bringing in their own alcohol. We used to verbally say, well, all of the coaches used to verbally say to all their clients, like, please don't drink when you're at these events, because some people are also, it can be very, very triggering for people, and we just don't want people being around that. But it happened a little while back, and now we've actually got it in writing where people have to sign it. So if they sign up for one of our in-person events, I can't remember what it says exactly, but it's basically just like, look, to be respectful of other people, and we've got an absolute zero tolerance of any alcohol whatsoever, whether that's going to the bar or bringing your own. Like I said, just to be respectful of the other people, please can you sign this to agree? If they sign it and then they still come to the event and end up getting off the face, then they're not allowed to come to any more of the events. So we've had to get a little bit more strict with that, because unfortunately a few people were taking the piss with it. So we do have it in writing now. And as far as I'm aware, obviously I was off for a few months, but as far as I'm aware, there hasn't been any issue since.
Can I come in, Katie?
Mm.
Yeah. So, first of all, how are you feeling?
Me, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I I'll give a little caveat to the after of that. Actually, now I've heard what people have said. The guy actually went to one of our drop-in services the next day, with someone who had been on that meeting also, and expressed that he felt a little bit shamey, a little bit guilt about being in that. I mean, he wasn't out of order by any stretch, because I would have stepped in. And he actually said, I recognize now that I've got to start doing something about it. So to me, that brings value that we worked it the right way. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know. I would value your opinion, David.
Well, first of all, I want to know how you feel, because whenever I'm in that situation, it's like, oh fuck, now I've got to handle this. Now I've got to
Yes.
handle this shit. Okay.
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely. Sorry, yeah. I mean, when I saw the can come, and it was like a fucking can of special brew, it wasn't a Foster's or something. It was
a decent drink.
And I thought, oh bollocks! I've now got to actually deal with this.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the first thing I want to acknowledge is the loneliness of that. Yeah, because that is lone wolf. You're holding the group. Someone's pulled out a bevy. Yeah, you want that person there. They've got their partner with them. Yeah, there's a history of severe. Well, I mean, you can't really. But perceived, yeah, cocaine's worse than alcohol and dope. Yeah, you've got that kind of going, well, I'm not snorting coke. Yeah. It's only a special brew. I've only had 8 of them today. It's fine. Yeah. And it sounds as if you've handled it very well. Where you made the person aware of their behavior, and the next day they kind of gone, okay, maybe I need some. Yeah. I'm more interested in how it impacted you personally, and what support would be like for you.
Yeah, and I must admit I was on edge.
Yes,
because
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I wasn't sure which way it was going to go. If when I'd addressed the issue and he was like, oh, fuck off, I'll do what I want, blah blah blah, I would have kicked him out basically, respectfully, but he would have had to have left the group, so that would have been one thing. But I was having to watch, because I could see him gradually getting a bit louder, getting a little bit more intoxicated. So I'm on edge. What is going to happen next? Okay. Is this going to cause an issue? Am I going to have to read?
You're facilitating the group, yeah, and you've got this fucking so that's hard work, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hard work. Okay.
Yes.
All right. And what sort of opinions were projected onto you after the group?
I did get positive feedback. I did ask a couple of the people, do you think that was dealt with appropriately? Did you feel uncomfortable?
From participants?
Yeah.
Okay,
Because I
great.
know a couple of them, say it was easier to do that.
Okay, so you got some support from participants. Okay, guys, this is your group. This is what's happened. Yeah, I mean, we're working with alcohol and drugs and harm reduction and like, fuck. How are you going to talk to someone about their drinking? Sometimes people, like, you need to meet them where they're at.
Yeah.
Okay. However, this group is held once a week for people that want to do there, and we would prefer it if you didn't drink on screen. In fact, we prefer it if you didn't drink at all.
Yeah.
And in fact, okay.
Yeah. And of course, within that, for me personally, my whole people pleasing bullshit comes in.
No, I get the movie. Yeah, I'd be tilt. Oh, I don't want to hurt their feelings.
Yeah, absolutely. But I felt okay after. I mean, it was difficult. I did feel uncomfortable. I was on edge, but when I spoke about it, and I spoke about it to someone else the next day to check in that I, dealt with it correctly, and I felt better. And hopefully it will arise again at some point. But
then you spoke to your colleagues.
Yes.
So you spoke to the participants. You spoke with your colleagues. Okay, and then the service that you went to the following day.
It was we have a new drop-in service in another area, and he went to that.
Is that part of
Raw?
So Raw has a drop-in centre.
Yeah.
Oh, good for you. Well done.
David, we've got all sorts going on these days. We've got a new smart meeting starting on Friday. So, but we're getting a bit more of a robust community.
Wonderful.
Which is helpful, obviously, for these situations.
Wonderful. Paolo, and then we'll go to Anna.
Yeah, so just along those lines, with one of the 12-step fellowships, I got involved with the outreach kind of arm before COVID came and before lockdown, and we kind of got these online meetings going. And at that stage, the face-to-face meeting ratio to online meeting was about 96 or 97% face-to-face. So we kind of got the online meetings going, and then lockdown came in, and then only online meetings were available. And I've had some interesting experiences. We've had people doing lines or whatever they were doing lines of on camera. We had people smoking meth on camera. We had people drinking on camera. We've had people naked on camera. We had all these things. And then we kind of learned the foreseeable future that risk was going to exist. So we then put in the standard that there would always be a co-host with somebody in a meeting, and they would immediately turn the camera off and just put that individual into the it wasn't called a breakout room, but it was like that, and then the co-host would have a chat with them.
The room of shame.
No, well, yeah. But we actually did training and all of that on how to address these people. It was actually quite hectic. Anyway, so yeah, and then they'd engage with them, and then whatever the outcome of that engagement was, the person would go away, or they'd return. Kind of being a bit more mindful of everybody else. But yeah, I must say that like the second time it happened, I was less blown away than the first time, and the fourth time less so than the second time, and so on. But even at the 10th and 12th time, there's still that discomfort because, like you said, now I've got to deal with this. But yeah, it was, the first few times, yeah, there we go, David, thank you. The first few times, lucky I'm not a co-host. The first, the first few times, it was a bit kind of, how the fuck can you do that? You're a chop, and then eventually it's like, okay, well, don't bark at the person just because they're sinning differently than the way I've sinned. So yeah, I kind of worked the way through that, but there's always that risk, I suppose, with online. Anyway, that was just something that happened. It was, I suppose,
You suppose it was? I missed that last bit.
I was just saying, I suppose that experience put some hair on my teeth.
Oh, yes. Yeah. So, Katie, I just want to kind of honor you for being the person that was there, that kind of held the space and just navigated through it as best you could, because these things are complex. And where your group is positioned, I think your approach was, I would support your approach in the way that you handled it. Anna, sorry.
Yeah, I agree with David. I think you really handled that well, Katie. I just wanted to share something, and I wanted to ask something because I'm a lot. I just realized that I think what I'm taking from this is that for me, it's in the future, it's gonna really help me, or I really have to be aware that I know if I'm in if I like facilitate a container or a session, I really have to know what, like, I think when you create a container, you have to know what the rules of that container are, what is the space you're creating. And sometimes I think in the past, I wasn't really aware what the rules or the boundaries were, and that makes it really difficult. And I think if you're working for an organization, you have to know what the rules of that organization are. I think if I hear you people talk about, they have to sign something, that's really helpful because then okay, this is it, and that's what I'm going to stick to. And I think in the past when I really struggled was sometimes I felt I was aware of it, that someone was under the influence, and then I felt like the person facilitating wasn't, and then, or my co-host wasn't or something. And then sometimes I felt like, okay, it's not my responsibility, but I am feeling responsible that maybe other participants are getting triggered, and what should I do with this? And that's just difficult. And then sometimes other participants will be like, well, I'm not ready to tell them yet. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to, this is difficult. But it's again about knowing your own boundaries and knowing the rules of the container or that session. So that's something that I'm really taking away from this, just know your own boundaries and know what container you're creating, I think. And what I wanted to ask you, Katie, is looking back now, you've like reflected on this and you've spoken to your colleagues, and I really love that you asked feedback to both participants and colleagues. Is there anything you do different the next time, or is there anything just wondering.
Yeah, I don't actually think I would, not in that how it played out specifically. I think each situation is unique. So if it was someone that was a bit more causing an issue, obviously that would be dealt with differently. But the way that was, I feel that I'm happy with the way I handled it, because I think it kept everyone with a level of safety and comfort, but also with the capacity for the guy to be included, to feel that he can perhaps start on his own journey. Do you know what I mean? Encouragement. So yeah.
So Katie, you must also sorry, that's she never say you must also. Yeah. But we mustn't underestimate the power the way that we interact with another human being, how that influences other people. So you modeling compassion for someone, setting a boundary in a compassionate, loving way, can often be very beneficial for other participants to witness it. Yeah. Um, yeah. That's don't like a lot of people that are coming into recovery have a like mindset. They're like teenagers, and as teenagers don't look at listen to their parents. They look at the way they behave. Yep. And a lot of people, particularly in early recovery, are like that. It's like, oh, how are they going to handle? Oh, how's my sponsor going to handle this? How's this one handling it? How's that? And I mean, for me personally, being a parent, I go, oh, fuck, now I understand why my dad was such a prick to me. Because my kids have been like that to me. Do you know what I mean? That's
What I always keep at the front of my head is people will forget what you say to them, but they won't forget how you make them feel.
wonderful.
I always
Wonderful.
keep that there.
Yeah, wonderful. So, my personal opinion, this an opinion, I think you handled that situation very well.
Thank you.
It feels like you were loving, compassionate, considerate, and also had a humility to ask other people. You didn't kind of go in there like, I might be a lone wolf there, but you went back to the pack. Yeah. And you said to the pack, listen, if I'm going down, you're coming down with me. Paolo.
Totally off topic, but I just want to share I have a huge amount of FOMO going on because I don't know how to make lots of hearts come up on the screen. I only know how to make one come up. So that is my FOMO for the day.
Well, as long as it's hearts and not farts, we'll be okay. It's down at the bottom for reaction.
Yeah, when I press it, I only get one heart. So
No. Press the line above it. That's what I did. I also only got one heart. When you do that, then you do send with effect.
And now I'm just confused. I'll stay with my FOMO. It's fine.
Yeah, there's Katie sending rockets. Thank you. So I want, back in 2014, we came up with this idea called cell phone rehab. And then in 2016, we started pocket rehab. And nobody wanted to do it, actually think that technology could help. Thank God for COVID, because it forced everybody into this environment. And nowadays, it's a very acceptable. In fact, a lot of people prefer it. Yeah. And what I like about it is it makes it more accessible for people. Yeah. And the downside of it is exactly the things that Katie's talking about. It's like you taking the NA meeting into the person's lounge next to his fucking special brew, and he's watching telly, he's drinking and gambling, playing slots at the same time. I'm in recovery. I'm going to meetings. I'm working a program. Yeah. Yeah. Personally, I'm okay with it. Yeah, I'm okay with but it freaks a lot of people out. And one of the things I loved about Cocaine Anonymous is that the preambles where they speak about brown paper bag, brown bottles, and seeking hidden drugs or all that. I loved it. When I got there, I thought, oh, thank God someone's talking about the fucking drugs. Because NA was very like, yeah, don't mention drugs, you can't do this, you got to talk about it. It's like, oh God, all right, man, geez, but that's all I know how to talk about. Yeah, the getting and using and finding ways and means to get more. That's all I. Then when I went to AA, it's like, don't mention that we are only interested in alcohol, and those old timers had their go. And then when I got to CA, it was like fucking Wild West, man, fucking enthusiasm, let's go. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know why I'm talking about that. What was the point
Pocket
of?
rehab, about something like pocket rehab.
Oh yeah. No, just talking about the environment's changing. So even in those meetings, you still had to leave a house, go to a church hall somewhere, go through the preambles, leave your drugs at the door or outside or things like that. But the whole environment changed with the online space. Yeah. Yeah. And you want to know what's going to be the next wake up call for everyone, if it's not already here, is AI. Yeah, Trish is in denial about that. She's going, no, not a fuck, no.
AI will never be able to show empathy. So that's where we will always be ahead of AI.
Oh, I've just stopped watching anything, mate, because it can be scary, but it's something out of your control. So just roll with it.
So what I use AI for is a tool to assist me with all the paperwork, so I can be more human with the person that I'm at. Yeah. So you guys need to you'll see someone, you'll have to fill out a safeguarding form, you'll have to do a risk assessment, you'll have to update this system, and then because you're working contracted to another system, you'll have to fill out their system. And out of an hour's time, 20 minutes is used on admin. Yep. And if you could use 5 minutes for admin, that would mean you've got an extra 15 minutes to be with your client or whatever. And that's where I see benefits. Yeah.
David, you also mentioned that for the online meetings, you brought it into the person's lounge or their home. So there'll also be, potentially, I suppose this is just my addict brain at work here right now, but eventually that meeting's in my lounge and I can use AI to generate myself so I don't even have to actually be in the meeting.
Yes. Yeah. I can't come, but
This is what I mean, David. This is what I mean. It's like what? Just not for me. Not today.
Yeah. I'm gonna send my AI assistant to NA to work a complete abstinence program so they can pick up key rings so I can carry on hanging out down the pub. All right. So I'm feeling quite fatigued. I think it's a good time to start to wrap up this container. I've really enjoyed today. As always, thank you very much for coming and just bringing your humanity to this and working this out together. Yeah, are we all good to check out? Yeah. All right. So just check out with a couple of words and something that you've learned today. And we'll go popcorn style. So instead of tagging someone, just when you're ready, just pop.
I'm grateful, leaving, same as you, David. I think a little bit fatigued. We're ready to go home and just have a chill night. That's my plans for the night, chill. That's it for me, thanks.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm checking out, yeah, a little bit tired, but I've enjoyed listening to how other people deal with certain situations. And I think I can take a lot on board from that because I'm like different. So basically, can I tell you a little story? Like a 2 second story. We had a gentleman, a community member come in for our Saturday breakfast. And he pulled out a bag of substance, and obviously I seen it. So I think it's all about how you approach people. So if I'd have said, you can't have that in here, like, all hell breaks loose. But I sat down next to him and I went, listen, you know as well as I do that that's not allowed in here. I said, you're always welcome in here, but that's not. I said, so go and get rid of it. Don't tell me what you're doing, and then you can come back in for your breakfast. He was going, I'm sorry. I went, it's all right. I said, but just get it out of here. And I think it's how you approach someone, like, in certain ways. So I like listening to how everyone else does it as well, because, you learn from people, don't you?
God, I wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of you, Alex. That was very good boundary setting. Yeah.
I sat right next to him. I went, listen.
Yeah. Yes, I could.
He was laughing though. It's the way I do it. It's in a nice, fun way. But
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Great.
I'm checking out. Very grateful. Thank you for the training, David. It's always brilliant.
No, thank you for teaching me so much. I'm the one that's learning here.
Oh.
And sorry if this was inappropriate when I put that here and anything like that. But so that was it's my girlfriend's perfume.
Oh.
It's an empty bottle of Izzy Miyake. Who's
Okay,
next?
I'm popping.
Popping, good.
Really, this is new to me, the popcorn checkout. So it's making me feel insecure. So I thought, let's just get it over and done with. But yeah, I'm checking out Grateful because I learned a lot again, and I love learning. And I'm actually making this kind of artwork because that's what I learned. People will forget what you said, but never how you made them feel. And I really like that. And I think I'm really allergic now. What's worse than allergic? I can't stand making people feel humiliated. So that's, just I think that's maybe that's one of my traumas or something. Like just that's I would never want to do that to someone. So I think that's just something that I take away from my lived experience, that if I deal with people, I would want to make them aware and I would want to help them, but I would never want to shame them or make them feel humiliated about anything. So yeah, I always remember that people will forget what you said, but not how you made them feel. And that's not something I would never want to make anyone feel. So thanks, guys. Thanks a lot. And see you next time. Pop.
I'm going to pop now then. I'm going to pop. Yeah, incredibly grateful. Alex, I love what you just shared there. I think, again, it's that, you can teach people all sorts of things academically. We can all learn shit academically, but it's learning your own style of how you communicate with people that is where the real value is, and that's what it's reminded me of today, and having a community of like-minded people. It's just beautiful. I love it. So yeah, very grateful. I'll leave it there.
Yep, me. Very grateful. It's been brilliant listening to how everybody deals with different situations and stuff. And yeah, I'll say grateful again because it's just such an honor to spend 2 hours a week with such beautiful souls. So thank you.
I'll go. Dion, checking out, feeling inspired. Just really, really nice to meet all of yous, and looking forward to seeing yous all again next week. Thank you.
Hey, all the AG's gone. Good. I'm checking out, extremely thankful. Yeah, a big thing that I got away from today's sessions was what I learn and what I gain from this experience of doing what I'm doing now is nowhere near what my expectations were, and it's much, much better. So yeah, I'm very thankful for that. And yeah, thanks for that reminder, Katie, about people will remember how you leave them feeling. And I'm going to steal what you said, Alex. I love that. You are always welcome here, but that is not, and that's whether it's a substance, a behavior, it doesn't matter what it is. The person is always welcome, but not that. And I love that because a lot of the time, I mean, I know, let me speak for myself, probably other people, but for myself, I couldn't distinguish between my behavior and who I was as a person. And I think that's actually quite an important thing for us and for our clients. So I got so much from today. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Popped.
Kerry, did you go?
Yeah, I went, yeah. I
Yeah.
said I was very grateful for spending time with you beautiful souls.
All right, cool. So is that everyone? Wonderful. Great. So Dion, lovely to have you here, and good luck with the baba. And yeah, lots of love to everyone. Yep. See you all next week. I
Thank
hope.
you. See you next week, everyone. Bye.
See you next week.